One initial point of thinking about it is why should we even care about defining religion and defining atheism? I think a lot of people are like, well, if you're an atheist, um, it's fine, whatever that means to you. You can define it in your own way. Or same thing with someone who's maybe religious. So why do you think we should care about defining religion and defining atheism in a proper sense?
Okay, so I guess there's a couple of things to say here. It depends a bit what the purpose of doing the defining is. So in Anglo-American philosophy over the last 100 years or so, for a long time there was this kind of project of trying to define words that were in common use. So, can we say give necessary and sufficient conditions for knowledge, or think about it this way: fill in the blank necessarily X knows that P if and only if, and then fill in the blank. Or you might try and do the same thing for causation or work of art and so on. And what emerged was that this is extraordinarily difficult. There are lots of people who are kind of skeptical that you can actually produce a definition of that kind that satisfies various conditions that you want a good definition to have. So it's not circular, it's not defining the more clear in terms of the less clear, and so on. And on the other hand, it survives counterexamples. So it really does pick out what it's supposed to pick out. And so that kind of project, I think, has become questionable. And if you're thinking about defining religion and atheism, it's important that it's not against that kind of background in order to satisfy that kind of analytical project. However, right, words like religion and atheism are, first of all, contested. So people actually have different ideas about what religion and atheism are. And second, along with this contestation, it's arguable also that there are quite a lot of different things that these words can mean in different contexts. That's particularly clear for religion. Maybe it's less clear for atheism. And so when people are getting together to discuss these topics, it's often useful for them to say how they understand what the word religion means or what the word atheism means, so that they can have a productive discussion and they don't end up talking past one another. And that's even if I'm very clear about what I mean by atheism and you're very clear about what you mean by atheism, when we try to have a discussion about atheism, we might just kind of fail to engage because we aren't actually talking about quite the same thing.